Hey everybody, welcome back to Movies and That. I'm your host Cody, and today we're going to rank the Scream franchise. So a little background with the Scream franchise here for me. Kind of a casual fan of it. I really liked it when I was younger, back when I first started getting into horror. This was like the one franchise I wanted to watch after Halloween and Friday the 13th. So it was probably my third major franchise I actually really kind of got into, but at the time there was only three of them. That was before Scream 4, obviously. But I enjoy these movies. They're pretty consistent for the most part. There's a couple stragglers that I'll talk about, but so let's dive into it here. We got 6 movies, so we're going to start from 6 and go to 1. So coming in at number 6, that is going to be Scream 3. So Scream 3 is... I never really liked it. Back when I first watched it, didn't really care for it, thought it was dumb. The one thing that always sticks with me for this movie is the voice changer. How that voice changer is able to mimic voices perfectly, and some voices where people are dead, like Maureen Prescott. I mean, come on, just doesn't make sense. Even 12-year-old me knew that, going to that movie. Yeah, that just bugs me, and it still does. Maybe nowadays that could work with AI, but back in 2000, no. But don't really care for the characters. Don't really like the whole meta Hollywood on the set of Stab kind of thing. I mean, yeah, it's different, but doesn't really work for me for a Scream movie. But I do like Roman. I do like him as a killer. I think for the most part, the kills are good. He does a good job as Ghostface, but everything surrounding it, Dewey, I really don't like his performance this one. I do not like Gale Weathers in this one. Sydney's all right, but she's not up to her game in this one either. So that's just my opinion. So yeah, Scream 3 is number 6. Coming in at number 5 here, it's gonna be Scream 6. Now, listen, the first, I guess, 80% of the movie, I was all in for. I was having such a good time at the theater, saw it opening night, and they get to that whole showdown scene, whole reveal, and it just turned into like a Looney Tunes cartoon. A lot of things bothered me with this movie. The first thing that actually really bothered me was during part of the movie where I was liking it, and that's where the detective, his daughter, Quinn, gets killed. Well, doesn't get killed, but supposedly gets killed, and he has no real emotional act. And that had me thinking, I was like, all right, this guy might have something to do with it. But I was kind of hopeful because I really didn't want him to be part of the killer, but he eventually was. So that's kind of what annoyed me too. And then they just immediately jump into let's go get him, let's team up and go get him. It seemed a little weak to me. But the kills were good. I mean, we got to see Ghostface in New York City, where we've never seen him before, do some crazy kills that we haven't seen, like the whole shotgun kill and things of that nature. No Sydney, but I don't think we needed it. But really what bugged me was people not dying. Yeah, we did get some kills, but we didn't get... They probably could have killed off at least 3 more people. Okay, and let me tell you who those 3 could have been and should have been. First one's Gale. I mean, they set that up perfectly. I was so ready for her to go after what they did to Dewey in Scream 5, which was a travesty. But, I'm thinking, okay, here we go. We're killing off legacy characters one by one. I think this is how it's going to go. Gale... right there, and she gets saved. Gets saved by the bell for the most part. Another thing too, if you were going to keep her alive, I mean, he could have just kept her in that closet with her gun, and nothing would have ever happened to her, because he couldn't get in there. And then you got the Meeks, brother and sister. I mean, Mindy gets stabbed in the stomach, and I don't know how she didn't bleed out, but she lives. And then Chad gets stabbed multiple times, still lives. Then you got Kirby, who gets shot, gets stabbed. I think she got stabbed. I don't know. I'm just going on a rant right now. Nothing happens to her. I mean, so many people lived who should have died in this movie. I know it's happened before in the franchise, but this one, it was just like right in your face, and that really annoyed me. Hated the reveal. I don't understand how they had all that evidence anyways, how they even got it. Yeah, sure, cops like money, but you literally got everything. Everything. So, yeah, not a fan. Not a fan, really. I was up until the last 10 minutes. All right, so number 4 is going to be Scream 5. I wasn't a huge fan of this when I saw it on opening day. It took me a couple re-watches to actually enjoy it more, and especially after watching Scream 6 and I put on Scream 5, I was like, this is a little refreshing. I like how they try to set it up to be like a combination of Scream and Scream 4 in a sense, and bringing back some settings and characters and stuff like that. We do get introduced to the new characters, Sam and Tara and Chad and Mindy and all of them, which is cool. I mean, I'm on board for those characters, especially when they were. I wasn't at first when they were introduced, but then I was. We get kind of more of a controlled Sidney and Gale, but they still do their thing. They're still, forces to be reckoned with in the end. A lot of people said they knew who the killers were. I thought I knew. Well, this way, I knew one. I honestly did not think of. Oh man, I don't know why I'm blanking on his name. Richie was a killer. Because I thought they were doing a pretty good job, like keeping him like dumb, like don't know what stab is, ghost face, all this stuff. So I actually kind of was surprised to see him being a killer at the end, and I thought that was a pretty cool reveal. But what they did to Dewey, man, I understand legacy characters got to go, but why does Dewey have to be the first one? Why? I liked what he was doing in that movie too, and then just for him to be manhandled like he was, like come on, not gonna happen. So yeah, it's a middle of the road Scream movie for me, and that's pretty much kind of where it is at number 4. So number 3 is going to be Scream 4. And a lot of people really don't like this movie, and honestly, I don't understand why. I mean, the biggest complaint is how it's shot, how it looks, which, yeah, I definitely get that. It's like a digital look, and it's like an orange light through most of the movie, which, yeah, that kind of stands out and doesn't look great. But overall, I enjoy the characters. I enjoy the kills. They kind of go back to the Scream roots here, going back to Scream 1 for the most part. They get back to Woodsboro. They give us a new cast of teenagers. It's in high school again. It's at Woodsboro High. Sidney and Gale, they have big roles. So does Dewey. He's a sheriff there. And I think it's a good story. It's you get everything you want in a Scream movie, I think, here. I think you really do. And the reveal was pretty wild, but the ending, it kind of dragged on. Honestly, that whole hospital scene at the end, that could have been like, just a quick, Jill wakes up, realizes Sidney isn't dead. She goes into Sidney's room, and Sidney's just kind of like waiting there and kills her right then and there. Or somebody like comes in, Gale, or, it didn't have to be drawn out like it was, but I don't know. I enjoy it. I like watching it. And I think it's better than 5, 6, and 3. So coming in at number 2 is Scream 2. Scream 2, I mean, you get Sidney, Dewey, and Gale, and Randy, so kind of the old core 4, back into the scene. It's shot in college this time. You get another cast, whole brand new cast of characters, whole new setting, but it still feels kind of like what Scream was, what we got in that first one. You had the mystery there. You had, everybody on edge, and you had the killers who you really didn't expect. I mean, I guess you could say you expected Stu and Billy in the first one, but that was kind of the whole thing. When I first saw Scream 2, I had no clue who the killers were. I really did. But I love Mickey as a killer. He's batshit wild. And you have Mrs. Loomis, who is just as crazy, but really didn't do all the dirty work. Mickey did. Like the kills we got. And that whole ending, that whole reveal was pretty cool, was pretty wild. You know, Mickey was doing it because of the movies. It's all about the trial, and he never made it to the trial. Um, but yeah, Scream 2, always have a good time with. I've always loved that movie ever since I watched it, and it's consistent to me. And then coming at number one, it's the original Scream. That's always what it was going to be and always will be, unless something crazy happens, which I doubt it's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, it's Wes Craven's original idea, and it broke ground with that whole opening with Casey Becker just getting slaughtered, getting chased through a house, the whole phone conversation. What's your favorite scary movie? I mean, that's just iconic. Set the stage for what that movie was going to be. And we get this 90s teenage horror movie, which really stands out for the 90s. And great cast of characters with Sidney, with Gail, with Dewey, with Billy, with Stu, with Randy, with Tatum. And, again, so many great characters. And the kills are good. It's not over the top, really. And that whole ending and third act is awesome. There's a lot of tension there. And when we finally get Billy and Stu, that reveal, they are just psychotic. It works well. Sidney's performance is great. And then you have Gail coming in to kind of save the day and turns the tide and helps Sidney actually stop everything. And I just love that movie. And it's I watch it maybe once or twice a year. Scream is like a summer horror for me. It's more of like a September. So I kind of like always treat the Scream franchise as a lead up to October because it is really revolving around school and high school and I guess college here too. And 2 and 6. I like putting it on September as my appetizer for October, getting ready for everything. And I did not watch Scream 6 this September. I saw it when it came out, and then I watched it on my flight to Miami this summer. And even that, I was like, why did I even put this on? But anyways, that's my ranking, guys. So hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like the video, subscribe for more. I'm going to do a buy one, stream one, burn one series on this. So look forward to that, and enjoy the rest of your day, everyone.